locks tight curled as if just out of press. His age in years was 20, I should guess. In stature he appeared of middle height, and great of strength, and wondrous quick and light. And he had gone campaigning recently, in Flanders, in Artois, and Picardy, and in this short space bore a gallant part, hoping for favour in his lady's heart. His raiment shone as if he were a maid, broidered with flowers fresh and white and red. Singing or fluting was he all the day. He was as lusty as the month of May. Short was his gown, with sleeves both long and wide. Well could he sit a horse and fairly ride. He could make songs and prettily and tight, and joust and dance as well, and draw and write. So fierce by night did love his heart assail, he slept no more than doth a nightingale. Courteous he was, humble, willing and able, and carved before his father at the table. He had a yeoman there, and none beside in service, for it pleased him so to ride. And he was clad in coat and hood of green. He bore a sheaf of arrows bright and keen, and wings of peacock feathers edged the wood. He kept his gear the way a yeoman should, no shafts of his with feathers left dragging low, and in his hand he bare a mighty bow. Close cropped his head was, and his face was brown. He knew well all the woodcraft that was known. Gay on his arm an archer's guard he wore, a buckler on one side and sword he bore. Upon the other side a dagger swung, sharp as a spear's point, richly wrought and hung. St. Christopher on his breast made silver sheen. He wore a horn, his baldric was of green. In truth, he was a forester, I should guess. Also there was a nun, a prioress, and she went smiling, innocent, and coy. The greatest oath she swore was by Saint Eloi, and she was known as Madame Eglantine. Full well she sang the services divine, intoning through her gnomes right prettily, and fair she spoke her French and fluently, after the school of Stratford and the Bow. The French of Paris, that she did not know. Well taught she was at table, she would let no food fall from her lips. She never wet her fingers deeply in the sauce. With care she raised each morsel. Well would she beware lest any drop upon her breast should fall. In manners she delighted above all. Always she wiped her upper lips so clean that never a fleck of grease was to be seen within her cup when she had drunk. When she reached for her food, she did it daintily. Pleasant she was, and loved a jest as well, and in demeanor she was amiable. Ever to use the ways of court she tried, and sought to keep her manner dignified, that all the folk should be reverent of her. But, speaking of her heart and character, such pity had she and such charity, that if she saw a trapped mouse, it would cry if it had died, or even if it bled. And she had little dogs to which she fed fine roasted meat, or milk, or dainty bread. How would she weep if one of them were dead, or any one should strike it viciously? She was all heart and sensibility. Her face was fair and pleated wimple draped. Her eyes were gray as glass, her nose well shaped, her mouth full small, and thereto soft and red. But of a truth she had a fair forehead, a span in breadth, or I should be surprised, for certainly she was not undersized. Handsome her cloak, as I was well aware, and wrought of coral round her arm she bare a bracelet all of beads and green gauds strung, and down from this a golden pendant hung, a brooch on which was written a crown in A, and after, Amor vincit omnia. Another